The rate law. The rate law is a mathematical equation linking the rate of a reaction with the rate constant K and the concentrations of the reactants raised to appropriate powers or exponents. It is also called the rate equation. Here is a general form of a balanced or stoichiometric equation where A moles of reactant A react with B moles of reactant B to give C moles of product C and D moles of product D. The rate law is rate equals K times concentration of A raised to power X times concentration of B raised to power Y, where K is the rate constant and X is the order of reaction with respect to concentration of A, and Y is the order of reaction with respect to concentration of B. Now compare the stoichiometric equation with the rate law. They don't look the same. In fact, the rate law cannot be derived from the balanced equation. It has to be determined from experiment. Notice the product concentrations do not appear in the rate law. The overall reaction order is X plus Y. Here are a few things to note. Rate laws are always found experimentally. Reaction order is always defined in terms of reactant concentrations, not product concentrations. The order of a reactant is not related to the stoichiometric coefficient of the reactant in the balanced chemical equation. Rate, reaction orders, and rate constant K must be obtained by carrying out experiments. The rate law may or may not include all or any of the reactants. Consider a reaction A plus B gives products. If the rate equation is rate equals K times concentration of A, this implies that the rate is dependent on the concentration of A only. If rate equals K times concentration of B, this implies that the rate is dependent on the concentration of B only. If rate equals K times concentration of A times concentration of B, this implies that the rate is dependent on both concentrations of A and B. Remember that K is the rate constant at a particular temperature. Being a constant, it does not change as the reaction proceeds. The order of a reaction with respect to a given reactant is the power of the reactant's concentration in the experimentally determined rate equation or rate law. That is, it defines how much the rate is affected by changes in the concentration of a reactant.